Hello, my friend. I have a fun video for you today. I have been a bit nostalgic about my channel recently. I've just been thinking about, how long I've been on YouTube and how long I've been doing certain series on the channel. And I realized that I started my favorites and fails countdown back in November of 2015. It was a really, really long time ago. And I'm so proud of these videos. I love filming them. They're my favorite video to film every month. But we haven't talked about a lot of these products in a long time, and I thought it might be interesting to kind of take a step back in time and kind of look at some of these products that were favorites back a couple of years ago and what happened to them in my collection. Do I still use them? Do I still enjoy them? Were they decluttered? And I thought we might also mention some of the worst products I tried back then, which of course I don't have, but just for fun. So if that sounds interesting to you, hang tight. We're getting into it right now. One thing I realized that I used to do a lot, which I still am very guilty of doing, is projecting my voice very loudly. So I guess it's just residual teacher projection. I don't know, but looking over those old videos, it's like, man, I remember people saying I used to yell at the camera and I just didn't get it. I was like, I don't even know what y'all talking about. And now it's like, okay, I get it. The other thing I noticed looking back, which is really funny, is people used to say, you're always doing the same eye looks all the time. I'm like, no, I'm not. I use different shadows every time. But if you look back when I show you the clips, notice how many of the eye looks look almost exactly the same, just like slightly different shades. It's just funny to me. I don't know. But anyway, it's just fun to look back and reflect. I mean, when you look at old photo albums and things and choices that you made, that was kind of what preparing for this video was for me. So now it's time for me to show you the fruits of my labor and share with you the worst and best products of my countdowns from 2015. So let's go ahead and start with November 2015. The worst product that month was the NARS Audacious Mascara, which I talked about in my worst products of all time video. I will link that down below for you. And yeah, it was still really, really bad. But of course I don't have it anymore. Now I did write down the second best and the best product that month because I thought that was kind of interesting. So the second best product that I tried that month for the first time was the Too Faced Chocolate Bar Palette. I would be curious to know if you own this palette, what happened to it in your collection? For me, I don't really use this palette anymore. And I feel like since this palette came out, there's been kind of an evolution of eyeshadows and the pigmentation of them. And I feel like this one just doesn't pack as big of a punch as I felt like it did when I first purchased it, and it just isn't enough for me. It isn't oomphy enough. But I think if I worked like a day job where I was looking for a more natural look, I think I would probably have used this more. But since I quit my job later on that year, I don't feel like I used it as much as I thought I would when I first got it. So I guess my feelings about it just kind of changed. At one point I said this was like me in a palette because it was like chocolate and I loved the colors and everything. I just don't feel that anymore. I don't know. What do you think? The best product that month was a powdered concealer by Bare Minerals that I had gotten in a Bare Minerals mystery bag. I used that product up, it's gone, and I didn't repurchase it. And I'm not really sure why I didn't repurchase it. I guess because I've just tried a bunch of other things. So I did love it, and I have no reason to not recommend it anymore. I just didn't repurchase it. Moving on to December of 2015, the worst product was the CoverGirl Blast Pro Mascara. I remember it being really bad. Of course, I didn't repurchase it. And then the second best product was the Tarte Amazonian Clay Pressed Finishing Powder. To be fair, I haven't really been using a lot of finishing powders. I'm more interested lately in using more setting powders and powder foundations to kind of set my face, and finishing powders have kind of made their way out of my routine. And the number one product that month was actually, I had gotten a Sigma brush kit, and that was my favorite product that month. And I wanted to show you how much I still love my Sigma brushes. I do still use them and love them. These are the ones that are in current rotation in my collection right now, and I figured I would share those with you. So my favorite one is probably the E40 tapered blending brush. This is just a really, really nice blending brush. Still use that all the time. And of course, the classic, this is the flat kabuki. This is the F80 brush. This was what was the huge YouTubers. Everybody used to talk about this brush before Morphe took over and the Y6, and everybody talked about the Y6. It was always the F80. I remember Jaclyn Hill used to talk about it. I remember, just all the big YouTubers. I think Manny MUA, I remember talking about this. And then Morphe came, and then people kind of stopped talking about the F80. But this I personally prefer more over the Morphe one because it's more dense. I feel like it's more effective at blending, where I feel like the Y6 kind of flops around a bit. I don't really like that brush, but I still love my Sigma F80. And then I just kind of have a handful of eyeshadow brushes. This is a new favorite I wanted to share with you. This is the medium angled shading brush. It's the E70. So like, let's say I put like a lighter shade as like a transition going up onto my brow bone, and then I want to deepen up the crease a little bit. I find this to be really, really nice because not only will it apply the product, but it'll also blend it into the other colors. So I really, really like this one a lot. And then classic, I actually had two of these going right now. The pencil, the E30 brush. I mean, that's just kind of a traditional brush. You can probably get other pencil brushes. You don't necessarily need that one. The E20, the E21, which is a smaller, like little detailed flat brush. I like using this one for cut crease or for like a lip application. This is just a small angle E65, and then this is a flat shader. I mean, these you don't really need a Sigma one, the E55, but I really feel like, the standout ones for me from Sigma that I still recommend are the F80, the E40, and the E70. January 2016 worst product was the Becca Ombre Rouge palette, and I did pass that along. I no longer own that. The second best product was the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer. I feel like, I've tried so many brow pencils since I tried this one. I feel like this one is a really good brow pencil, but I don't see performance-wise it being better, outstanding over other ones. My big complaint about this one is I feel like the shade is really dark for me personally. If you have very, very dark brows, you'll probably really like this one. This one is in the shade Dark Brunette, which is what I thought I was at the time, but since then I feel like I really like a lighter shade. But it is a very good quality roll-up brow pencil. Not really the best value overall. They do run out relatively quickly, but the formula is very nice. It's not sticky or heavy or anything. I do still really like it a lot. And then the best product that month was something I actually decluttered and gave away. Ooh, the BH Cosmetics Carly Bible palette. I did really, really like it. I did still think it was a very good quality palette, but because it was natural tones, it was like I was getting new palettes that had natural tones, and it was like, do I really need this in my life? It wasn't that I didn't like it, it's just I didn't feel like I needed it anymore, and I wanted someone else to have it, so I did give that away. February of 2016, Pacifica Power of Love lipstick. I'm just gonna play you a little clip from that video instead of just voiceover over top of it, just so you can hear what I had to say about it. Oh, Lordy. It just smells so bad. It smells like a mixture of Play-Doh and plastic. Like every time I smell it, I smell some kind of nasty concoction of nastiness. I will swatch it for you so you can see. It is a nice color. The formula is a little bit pooly, when you have to kind of pull on your lips to get the color to go on. So it is a little bit dry. It's a gorgeous shade, but it smells really, really bad. So yeah, now we know that chances are that product was rancid. So that's why I didn't like it. And I had no idea at the time that it was probably had gone bad. So yeah, there was a reason why that one was a fail. And the second best product was the Too Faced Little Black Book of Bronzers. And this is one that I used a lot back then, and I'll show you what it looks like. What it was a collection of Too Faced bronzers. And what I found was that these were pressed really, really hard. So once I got past like the initial product, I felt like they were a little more difficult to use, that they didn't really have as good of a consistency as the individual ones did, which is kind of odd. I still really like the colors, but sometimes I found them difficult to blend out. So I used it, and then once I got to a certain part in the pan, I was kind of like, I'm not sure if I really want to use this anymore. So I kind of stopped using it, but I did still keep it because I felt like the shades, in case I ever wanted to dupe bronzers or whatever, I would have a collection of Too Faced bronzers to compare to for shade purposes. But I haven't used this in quite a while. It actually sits right behind me, where my sign is. One row over is where this one kind of hangs out. And the best product that month, I was really surprised that I had picked the Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette. I still think there are quite a few shades in here that are very beautiful. I really like these shades over here, but I actually found the jelly shade, the more I used it, to be pretty weak. The rest of the shades are very beautiful, very easy to use, but I got bored with this palette relatively quickly. Even though the quality of it was very good, other than the jelly shade, it just got boring for me, so I stopped using it. But I still think the quality is very good if you can get your hands on it. I think it's way gone out of the Too Faced line at this point. March 2016, the worst product was the Giorgio Armani Fluid Sheer. I don't even know, the reason why I didn't like it was because it was marketed, I believe, as a primer, I think. And I put it all over my face and it gave me glitter face. It was a really weird product. So I only had a sample of that, so I just ended up throwing that away. The second best product was the Kardashian Beauty Radiant Ombre Blush. This is pre-KKW. They had a Kardashian Beauty line. I think we talked about it once in What's Up in Makeup, what happened to the Kardashian Beauty line. You could buy it at drugstores. I really like this blush a lot, but the line got discontinued, so I stopped using it in my videos, and I just kind of stopped using the product. Even though I still really like it, I only use it kind of on my off days when I'm not filming at this point. This was another one that really surprised me. Like, how was this the best product? I guess I was just really digging it at the time. The Makeup Revolution Girls on Film palette. Back then I was doing a lot more smoky kinds of looks, like a light lid with a smoky outer corner, and that's pretty much all you can get from the Girls on Film palette, is something like deep and dark and smoky, and it just, I don't know, it was just a really powdery kind of palette, and it kind of made a mess, but you could use it functionally if you like those smokier, more cool toned looks, and I'm just not digging on that anymore. I decluttered it, I got rid of it. Okay, this was a really funny one. April 2016, the worst product was the Milani Eye-Tech Define 2-in-1 Brow and Eyeliner. It was a brow marker. Like, nice try, Milani, but no. A brow marker? No. No, nobody wants that. Nobody wants a brow marker. That didn't work. I don't remember why I didn't like the eyeliner, but I remember that there was a brow marker, and that was just, nope. No. This is a product I still use very often. It doesn't look like I've used this a ton. I realize this, but you have to remember I have an entire drawer full of highlighters that I rotate through, but I still do use this probably once or twice a month, and it really is a great product. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit in Gleam. I do believe that this was limited edition, but all of these colors are so beautiful, and the lasting power is fantastic. Still really love this and still have this in rotation, even though I probably, again, only use it maybe once or twice a month. This is one that I really should repurchase if it's still available. The best product was the Tarte So Fine Liquid Liner. I used this one for like 3 or 4 months, and then I throw away my eyeliners after 3 or 4 months because I get scared of the bacteria that collects on the eyeliner. So I do throw them away, but I really love this eyeliner because it was exactly the way advertised. So fine, just made a really nice thin line, very nice brush tip, really easy to use, nice lasting power, all of that. And I haven't repurchased it, but I loved this eyeliner. Next was a combo month. We had May and June of 2016, and I had gotten this in I think in an Ipsy bag. It was the Pacifica Natural Beauty Eyeshadow Trio, and this thing had like 0 pigmentation. This was another Pacifica product. I was not loving Pacifica makeup. I still don't really love Pacifica makeup. I prefer to stick to their hair care products and their skincare products personally, but their makeup products just were not doing it for me. There was like 0 pigmentation on that product. I think I threw it away. The second best product that month was the Mineral Fusion Radiance Illuminating Powder. I think I got this at like Whole Foods, I believe, and this product just kind of went bad. The performance ended up getting a little bit chunky. It just seemed old. It had kind of a strange smell to it after about a year and a half, so I ended up throwing this one away reluctantly because I really loved it. My favorite product that month is still one of my favorite palettes of all time, and this is the Alice Through the Looking Glass palette by Urban Decay. I'm a huge Alice in Wonderland fan. I don't know. There's certain things that I absolutely love. Romeo and Juliet, Alice in Wonderland, just certain stories that are very special to me. So when they came out with an Alice in Wonderland palette, I kind of freaked out a little bit, even though the story in the movie wasn't really the same story as what was in the Lewis Carroll book. But I used this thing quite a bit when I first got it. I haven't used this in probably about a year, but I do keep it for sentimental reasons. It's not that it's gone bad or there's anything wrong with it. It's just I have other things that I need to try. And also this one takes a little bit of thought for me to figure out how I want to use it, and I just sometimes don't feel like doing that. But if I ever want these shades, I know where to find them. And I love this palette. I keep it, again, it's right next to the Be Silly, Be Honest, Be Kind. It's one shelf over. And I just kind of keep all my palettes that look like a book. It's got a little spine. Like my Game of Thrones Urban Decay palette is right next to it. And I still really love this palette. I don't see myself getting rid of this anytime soon. I mean, it's got the little butterfly in here. It's really cute. I still really love this. This is one that I will forever be attached to, I think. Another combo month, July and August of 2016. That was our first big summer road trip that we did. And yeah, I didn't do one in July because we were gone during that month. But the worst product that I had down for August was the Acura Cleansing Towelettes. I think they just didn't work, if I remember right. Second best was the Ulta Demi Matte Foundation, which I still have and actually still use and probably shouldn't use anymore. But you can see I'm like almost out of it, so I kind of feel like I want to finish using it. I still really love this. It is a little bit more full coverage than I've been liking for my taste recently, but overall, I mean, it's just a really, really nice foundation. My biggest complaint about this is that it's not sold in very many shades. They really, really need to work on that. But the actual like finish of it and the performance of it is wonderful. I still really, really like this a lot. And I was also really, really loving the Benefit Ka-Brow. I actually should throw this away because it's pretty dried out at this point. I think I am gonna throw it away, but I did use it a lot before I fell in love with their powder, what's it called? I don't know, the little powder duo that they have, which is kind of my go-to now. At the time, brow pomades were really big. Anastasia had come out with one, and they were just kind of all over the place, but this one's pretty dried out. I'm actually gonna throw that away because it's old. We've got 3 more months, so let's go into September of 2016. Worst product was the Ofra Lip Exfoliator, which I still don't really get. I don't know if they still sell it, but there was like no exfoliation in it. It was basically like a lip balm. It's like, how in the world is this an exfoliator? I don't get it, but you know, that was why it was the worst product that month. And the second best was the Ulta Super Blender Sponge. I was really into the Ulta sponges back then, and I don't know why I never repurchased them. I used the one that was in the video until it was not good anymore. I threw it away and I just never repurchased. And I guess I've just been trying a bunch of different sponges. You know, I got the ones from Beauty Bakery that I like a lot, very different from the Ulta ones, a lot more stiff than the Ulta ones, but I do like them. I have no reason not to repurchase them. I just haven't. And the best product was actually a product that exploded in my drawer and I had to throw it away. The LA Colors Shimmering Loose Eyeshadow. I got this for a video that I did where I got a bunch of dollar makeup and like genuinely tried it. And some of it was actually really good. And this was the best product that I tried from that dollar store makeup video that I did. It was a wonderful eyeshadow, absolutely beautiful. I'll put the shade name if I can remember what it was, but it was a gold shade. It was so pigmented and it was so beautiful. And I was really sad when it spilled all over the inside of my drawer, number 1, because I had to clean it up, and number 2, because it really was pretty and I ended up just throwing it away. And I haven't repurchased it since, but if I ever ran across it again, I would probably get it again. October 2016, the worst product was the Revlon HD Matte Lip Colors. They were patchy, they were dry, they were terrible. Oh my gosh, not a fan of those at all. Have not repurchased those. I threw that one away, I believe. The second best product that month was the Wet n Wild Gold Bar, and my friend Carla had found this at a store. She bought it for me. She brought it to my house. So awesome. And it's funny because she was a fellow teacher of mine that I didn't work with, but I knew her. And now she actually teaches at my daughter's school. So I will always remember and thank her for getting me the Wet n Wild Gold Bar. It is a fantastic highlighter. In order to find this for my video, I actually had to reach the back of my highlighter drawer. It's still in my highlighter drawer, but it's just at the back of the highlighter drawer. So I forgot about it. So now it's going to be moved to the front and I'm going to use it more. I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous. And this is if you can find this, it would look absolutely beautiful on so many different skin tones, especially any warm skin tones. Oh wait, you can't even really see it. You can see that little bit of shine there, but you can build it up. Like, it doesn't have to be that subtle if you don't want it to. It's gorgeous, gorgeous highlighter. And especially if you have a warm skin tone, if you can find this, highly recommend this one. It's absolutely beautiful. The best products that month was Moda brushes, which I would say I do not like quite as much as my Sigma brushes. But if you do not want to spend the money on Sigma brushes, Moda brushes are a wonderful option. Now, one thing about Moda is a lot of times they will take
the exact same brush, and they will just market it differently. So they'll have like the original Moda, which is like a rubber kind of outside. Then they'll do like these Moda metallics. They'll do these ones that are like an ombre kind of color. They'll do, that's a loud airplane. They'll do these ones that look like unicorn. I mean, they have all these different styles, and really and truly, they're the exact same brush, just with different handles. So don't feel like you gotta collect all the Moda brushes in the world. They're all pretty much the same as far as the performance, as long as they're the exact same shape. I've had no problems with these things like shedding crazy or doing anything weird. I've washed them multiple times. I have a ton of Moda brushes. These are just the ones that are in current rotation, and they're just all really good brushes. You just need to find the shapes that you think that you'll use and then get them. I mean, you can get them at Walmart. I believe they sell them at Walmart online. I forget where else they sell them, but I know they have their own Moda website as well to buy them. And they're just really good, and they're much less expensive than, let's say, the Sigma brushes. And then finally, November of 2016, the worst product was something called the EB5 Daily Repairing Eye Treatment. And I am so curious what was in this stuff, because the reason why I hadn't used it was because it said, don't put it on your eyelids and don't get near your eyes. Like, it was supposed to be mostly for like just right here and not getting it near your eyes. And I just wasn't interested in an eye cream you couldn't put on your eyes. But I didn't really know enough about ingredients at the time to be able to identify what it was they were specifically talking about. So I really wish that I knew it was in there. I could probably Google it and find out what was in the eye cream. I just didn't think of that till just now. But if I find out any information from filming until this video goes live, I'll put it in the video description about whether I probably could have used that or not. I just don't know. The second best product were the Shiro Cosmetics. They had a Harry Potter collection, and I still have one product left. The other ones I used a lot and either threw away because they got old, or they were used too much and they just got thrown away. But this is one that got lost in the back of my drawer. This is the Butterbeer Lip Balm, and I really like this a lot. It's got a really nice texture to it. Smells like butterbeer. It's very butterscotchy kind of scent, and it's very nice. And now I'm going to put it in my purse so that I can continue to use this. And it still smells good. It doesn't smell like it's gone bad at all. So I'm gonna keep using it. And the best product for the very last month we're going to talk about today is the Overshadow Shadows by The Balm. And these are just really nice. I thought they were going to be like really sheer, but they're just really nice, loose, shimmery shadows. And they're absolutely beautiful. I don't reach for them very often just because they're single shadows, and I tend to want to use palettes more than single shadows. I don't know about you. Do you ever reach for your single shadows, or are you more of a palette person? I would love to know in the comments below. But for me, I forget to reach for these. But they're still very nice. They're still very good. I just haven't used them in a while. So that is it for my recap of my favorites from 2016. I hope that you found it interesting. I hope you found it fun. If you all enjoy this video, definitely make sure you give it a thumbs up. It tells me that you want to see more videos like this. And if it seems to get a lot of love from the community, then I will definitely come back at the end of the summer or early fall, somewhere in there, and do the 2017 favorites and kind of talk about where those are now. And then maybe even the 2018 ones eventually. You know though, that at this point it's your turn in the collective brain of makeup awesomeness, where we help each other not to buy crap and to buy things that are totally worth it. Leave your thoughts on these products down below, or any of your favorites that you've been loving since 2016 or before that are still available for purchase. Let us know what you have loved consistently for years. Let us know those products below so that we can learn from you and maybe buy some really good products if we're in the market for them. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to hang out a little longer, YouTube should be suggesting a video right down there for you. You can hang out a little longer. If not, make sure you subscribe before you go. Mad love to you, and I will see you in a video very soon.